Hi, I'm glad you stopped by. In this video, we want to understand the standard by which we can determine if someone is really converted and the reasons why this is important to know. I was born a fourth generation Seventh-day Adventist. I knew nothing of being converted. About the age of 12, a 6-foot-plus man in a black suit talked to me about baptism. There are no memories of studying anything before the baptism. Perhaps teaching doctrine was the business of the church school, but I don't remember learning that in any particular class. There is a vivid memory of the first day of school after the baptism. I remember sitting about the middle of the school bus on the left side, looking around and out the window and thinking, what is supposed to be different? Everything is the same. Nothing has changed. Time went on, life went on. It was life inside a culture complete with everything you might need. I remember my dad ordering me to sit and read something out of early writings. It was something he liked. I forgot it pretty quick. One item that helped me was understanding part of what character was. I reasoned that people would say that action is characteristic of art. So I determined to do my best at everything I did. That was a good decision. One day I got emotionally hurt. Fortunately, I knew to turn to God, but there was many years of trials before realizing I was totally responsible for my experience with God. Finally, I reasoned, this is not happening. Something has to change. I quit going to church to get my card punched. I spent some time thinking about the situation. I spent time online searching for something real, and that is when I found the records of apostasy, and I removed my membership from the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Then God led me to discover the original, authentic spirit of prophecy. Then came baptism into the faith of Jesus. Before, I was baptized as a door into the church, which is wrong. The New Jerusalem is the bride of Christ, not the church. Therefore, a connection or membership with the Seventh-day Adventist Church cannot save you. You must become aware that you are a sinner and in need of a Savior. It is good to be connected with others of like-minded faith, but it is not required for salvation. If God leads you to others, you should connect with them and form a church. However, the word church is not correctly defined as a building with people inside. It is defined as God's true believers. Wherever you meet, that is your church. The SDA Church is filled with people who have had a similar spiritual experience to mine inside the church, but have never really been converted. In addition, there are a great many people who have connected with the Seventh-day Adventist Church for social reasons. Does that sound familiar? Oh, yes. James White writes in his pamphlet, Death and Burial or Scriptural Conversion, the following. The reason why many who profess religion were never converted is because they were never convicted. And the reason why they never had genuine conviction is because they have never seen themselves in God's mirror, the Ten Commandments. A popular gospel keeps that more or less out of sight and moves upon the sinner's sympathies and fears, producing a conviction more nervous than intelligent. Such conviction does not result in a change of life as required in the sacred scriptures, while intelligent conviction produced by the claims of God's law changes the mind, the heart, and the life. In next week's video, we plan to cover this pamphlet. It has an incredible amount of beautiful, wonderful information in James White's great writing style. We just love that guy. So why do we need to know if someone is really converted, and what are the reasons it's important to know this? The great standard by which the saints are to know if someone is really converted is found in the original authentic testimony, number 23, pages 1 to 116 especially. And the passage we're looking for is on page 8 at the top. It reads, "The terrible iniquity abounding calls for the greatest diligence and for the living testimony to keep sin out of the church." I'm sure you have a lot of stories, just like I have a lot of stories about what it's like in the Seventh-day Adventist Church that they don't have any focus on keeping sin out of the church. And in the same testimony on page 26, it says, "I have been shown that all are not fitted to correct the erring." A very critically important item to understand, because there's large problems here, and Satan is taking advantage of everyone that he can. I highly encourage you to get testimonies number 23 and start reading right at the beginning. It will amaze you. It certainly amazed me. So the reasons all this is so important should become clear when understanding that you would not want a wicked person teaching your child. Neither would you want an unconverted person sitting on a church board pressuring people to do things his way. And we might add, because he can afford to pay for it, right? No, these things are very important to consider as more and more the saints leave the Seventh-day Adventist Church and want to join your group. Satan will send strange children to you that you become responsible for if you witness some strange act. We are given specific direction by God as how to handle such things. And I might comment, this is, as many other things, largely passed over, and people do not want to follow God's directions. So this is a big problem. In this video, we've been talking mostly to dealing with people who have a history with the Seventh-day Adventist Church. In the next video, we plan, God willing, to present James White's pamphlet on scriptural conversion, which is more to the point of dealing with those outside of the Seventh-day Adventist culture. God bless your study.